Former US President Barack Obama has spoken in Chicago about the war in Ukraine, saying that while Putin has always been ruthless, he has changed since he had to deal with him in 2014. Joining us now is the political analyst and professor at Curtin University, Joe Siracusa. Joe, good morning. Has he really changed? Because many would argue the West wasn't tough enough back in 2014 when Crimea was annexed. It simply just happened.
Good morning, Pete. Look, I'm with you. I don't think he's changed. I think we've had a massive intelligence failure since 2014. You know, when Obama was president, we had Biden who was vice president, and he could have also seen what was going on. So, you know, I think the Americans got it all wrong. And I might add, the French and the German intelligence agencies got it wrong, too. Ruthless. This guy has always been ruthless. But look, I always thought he was going to go into Ukraine. He's not going into NATO. He knows better than that. We have now this old theory, this old trope that comes back over and over again, that the dominoes will fall, that Putin can't wait to get into NATO. He's not crazy. He doesn't want to go up against 3 nuclear nations, plus 27 others who are armed to the teeth these days. So he's not going to do that. I think the problem in Washington is, I think Biden has bungled this from the beginning, and I know it's Putin's war. He started all this, but I think that day, and when you were the first person, we were the first people to predict he was going in. I think the day that Biden said to Putin, you know, you could do what you want in Ukraine, we're not going to do anything about it, was the green light. I mean, that's what he needed. Well, so he had to be told at that stage to stop what he was doing.
Two men from opposite ends of America's political divide arrive in Australia with one united message.
I want to help Australia make sure that when China looks at Australia, they look at somebody they don't want to mess with.
Republican Lindsey Graham and Democrat Bob Menendez tells Sky News Australia is at the forefront of the geopolitical challenge of our time.
This is the epicenter of where the future lies in terms of what type of world we want to live in.
They're here to iron out details of the AUKUS security deal between Australia, Britain and the United States. Core to that agreement, Australia acquiring nuclear-powered submarines, which would allow it to travel further and undetected into the Indo-Pacific.
I think the sub deal is important, but we got maybe a 20-year gap here.
His solution, adding to the more than 2,000 American boots already on Australian dirt.
I'm willing to have a increased military presence here to fill in this gap.
It's hoped greater numbers would go some way to shielding Pacific nations from China's cash and coercion.
I see an opening in this part of the world to push back on China in a way that would fundamentally change the fear you have of a very bad neighbour.
A fear heightened by revelations of a brewing defence pact between Beijing and the Solomon Islands, sounding alarm bells over the potential for Chinese military bases to be built on Australia's doorstep. For the leadership of the Solomon Islands, Senator Menendez offers this warning.
China at the end of the day will be your owner and minder. That's what their ultimate goal is.
Next stop on their Pacific tour, Japan, amidst talk it could soon join the AUKUS ranks.
That may be in the cards for the future.
On the bloodshed in Eastern Europe, Senator Graham reaffirms his desire for regime change at the Kremlin to remove Vladimir Putin, whatever it takes.
I hope the Russian people will get rid of him by any means necessary to be better for them, better for the Ukraine, better for the world.
As for America's domestic leadership contest,
is Donald Trump going to be the next Republican candidate for president, do you think?
If he runs, he would win the primary.
French President Emmanuel Macron and far-right challenger Marine Le Pen will face off in a presidential election runoff on the 24th of April. Neither leader gained a majority of 50% of the vote during the first round of voting, setting up a 2-week campaign ahead of the runoff election. The second round will be a replay of the 2017 poll, also between Macron and Le Pen, who is seeking to become the first French president in 20 years to win a second term. Macron topped the first round, garnering 28.5% of the vote ahead of Le Pen, who was a little bit behind there, 23.6%. His lead is 2 points higher than in 2017, though. Far-left leader Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who has pledged his support for Macron, finished third. Voter turnout was at 74%. That is the lowest level since 2002.
On his first full day of campaigning, Anthony Albanese is asked to prove he knows key economic details, but avoids the question.
Oh, look, we can do the old Q&A stuff over 50 different over 50 different figures.
Struggling again and again, unable to name even the country's unemployment rate.
National unemployment rate at the moment is, I think it's 5.4. Sorry, I'm not sure what it is.
2 hours later, Mr Albanese issued a mea culpa of sorts.
I'm human, but when I make a mistake, I'll fess up to it.
How did it occur, though? How?
Oh, look, you can come up with a whole range of reasons, a whole lot of figures around. Of course, the average unemployment rate under this government is 5.7. Under us, it was 5.1.
I mean, I don't want to get melodramatic here, but is this the day you lost the election?
You are being melodramatic, Andrew. People make mistakes.
The Prime Minister has already hit the road, making his first campaign stop on the New South Wales South Coast in the Labor seat of Gilmore. Trudy McIntosh filed this report from Nowra.
Scott Morrison didn't go far on his first stop of the official election campaign, flying just 130 kilometres to the south coast town of Nowra. The seat of Gilmore is held by first-term Labor MP Fiona Phillips on a margin of just 2.6%. The Liberals are hoping to win it back, recruiting former State Minister Andrew Constance.
Well, look, we're going to make this about the community. We're going to park the politics.
Scott Morrison and Andrew Constance will campaign together on Monday. The pair set to put aside their differences after a public stoush during the 2019 Black Summer bushfires. Mr Constance infamously said Scott Morrison got the welcome he deserved on the ground in Cobargo. Is he actually helpful for you on the ground?
Look, I mean, it's not my gig to be commenting on those types of things. The reality is that he, like I, want to see the community prioritised first and foremost.
The PM admitted he hasn't got everything right during his 4 years in office, but he argues now is not the time for change.
Our government is not perfect. We've never claimed to be. But we are up front. Not just me as Prime Minister, but my Treasurer, my Defence Minister, my Home Affairs Minister, my Foreign Minister, my Health Minister, who's served us so well. Our team can deliver on this plan because it is our team that has been able to deliver what has been one of the strongest recoveries we've seen anywhere in the world.
The coalition is looking to make up ground by flipping Labor-held seats in this crucial state of New South Wales, offsetting the likely losses that are going to happen, particularly over in the west. For the Prime Minister, that is why heading to Gilmore is so crucial. He wants to be on the offensive on the first day of this campaign.
Symbolic, really, that you begin the campaign in Gilmore, where much of your personal negativity began at the start of your time as PM. Have you earned back the voters' trust?
Well, this election is a choice, Pete. Elections always are a choice, and it's a choice between the strong economic management and financial management that we've been able to demonstrate through the biggest economic crisis we've seen since the Great Depression, getting unemployment down to 4%, saving 700,000 jobs through JobKeeper, retaining our AAA credit rating, and of course the biggest economic turnaround in the budget of over $100 billion in the last 12 months, which means we've been able to deliver that cost of living pressure relief right now at the fuel bowser and in handing back taxes. Now that is compared with the alternative, a Labor opposition which people know can't manage money, that is unproven, untested, and they haven't been able to tell you what they stand for, and they've had 3 years to do it. And so as we face these uncertain economic and international times, then we are the proven choice. My team has been proven and tested against a Labor opposition that people just don't know. They know this government, they don't know the opposition, and these are uncertain times.
Yeah. Barnaby Joyce has declared the election is not a popularity contest as he pitches to voters to stick with the coalition. Political reporter Andrea Crothers is following the Nationals leader on the campaign trail and has more from Tamworth.
Barnaby Joyce typically frank in his first press conference of the campaign, telling voters you may not like us, but vote for us anyway. Like Scott Morrison, he appealed to voters to consider the coalition team as a whole and their cabinet experience as a better choice than the alternative. Scott Morrison's character has been under siege, called a liar, a bully and a man without a moral compass in recent weeks. Barnaby Joyce defending Mr Morrison, saying he does have a compass, that is, one to chart the country's future.
This is not a popularity contest. I would say politics is a lot like a dentist. You don't have to like them. All you have to know that if the drill is in your mouth, they know how to do the job and they're competent.
The Nationals leader also made no apologies for his own character, even though it may not appeal to voters in inner-city blue ribbon seats.
I'm always honest with what I have to do for the nation, and I'm direct, and I don't try to be everything to everybody.
Opening statements getting underway in Fairfax, Virginia, in the case between actor Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, actress Amber Heard.
Mr. Depp built a reputation as one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. A respected artist. Today, his name is associated with a lie.
Depp is suing Heard for $50 million, saying she defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed about being a survivor of domestic abuse. While the piece never mentioned Depp by name, the actor's attorneys insist it damaged his reputation. Heard's attorneys will argue she told the truth and Depp was always the aggressor.
Depp's side really has the benefit of hearing what Amber has to say and what her allegations are.
By Monday afternoon, 7 jurors plus 4 alternates were selected for the trial. They could hear from a long list of high-profile witnesses, including Tesla CEO Elon Musk and actor James Franco. The Virginia trial is part of a bitter legal battle between the couple. In 2020, Depp lost his libel case against a British tabloid that labeled him a wife-beater. A UK judge ruled Depp repeatedly assaulted Heard and made the actress fear for her life.